Hello there, this is Kathie with Craft with Kathie. Thanks for joining me today. Hope everyone's had a great Thursday. Things are pretty cool around here today. Temperatures dropped a little bit, which was kind of nice. I really have to admit I don't appreciate the mid or upper 90s. But it was nice this morning. It was around 75 degrees, a little breezy. It was beautiful. So I actually don't know how high. I think we got maybe mid 80s, but it was a little bit cooler than usual, which made me a happy camper. If you just like to say hello and drop me a line, let me know where you're viewing from, that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to create a little home decor this evening using a transfer, a silkscreen transfer, reusable transfer that's called Floral Script, and it's very pretty. I think these, I don't know, I thought they were peonies. They may be roses with some script in the back. And I'm going to make this very simple and basically very quick actually, because I'm going to use one color. This actually happens to be Marvelous, and I'm going to put this script, or this floral script, on a canvas pillowcase. Now inside the pillowcase, I've already added our little ink mat to act as a barrier, so that when I ink the transfer and the ink goes through the silkscreen onto the canvas, it doesn't go through onto the other side. And our ink mats are really nice. They're adhesive on one side, so they stick nicely to whatever fabric or whatever you put them on, and it keeps everything still and in one place. Great for t-shirts and things like that. And they're probably not so necessary for a canvas pillowcase because the fabric doesn't stretch or whatever, but absolutely very helpful if you're doing a t-shirt or anything that might actually move as you are actually applying the ink. So I like using our ink mats. And our ink mats do come in 2 separate sizes. This is the 18-inch that is ideal for our canvas pillowcases. Now I've already used this transfer before. I've actually done it on a tote bag, if I remember correctly. And because I'm putting it on canvas or fabric, and I've already used it, I'm not going to bother fuzzing. But fuzzing is the process of deliberately applying lint to the back of a transfer so that it doesn't stick as snugly to the surface. But I'm not going to bother doing that with this because I want it to be nice and snug against this pillowcase, this canvas fabric. So if you have any questions, please just drop me a comment below. And if you have any suggestions on projects, I love any suggestions for what you'd like to see, or any questions that you might have on the process or about our transfers or our surfaces or anything like that. Don't be shy. Just let me know what you're thinking. Our transfers are silkscreen, which is the clear area, and vinyl, which is the teal, with an adhesive backing. This is the adhesive side. They are reusable 8 to 12 times with proper care, and proper care is really very easy. You generally will put lint on the back using our fuzzing cloths. If you are using them on chalkboard or glass or mirror or wood, and what the care basically comes into removing the chalk paste from the surface of the transfer and then cleaning the adhesive part to remove the lint. And that's pretty much it. That and putting it up to dry is about all it takes. Now I have the zipper portion at the bottom of this pillowcase, and I've opened it up. I'm going to leave it open, and I want to put this transfer on straight, of course, and then make sure that I've smoothed it down and I don't have any air bubbles, because if I have air bubbles, of course the ink is not going to go through as smoothly. So feel like I have that straight. Let me turn to kind of check it out a little bit. Move this up. I can't believe we're in the middle of summer. Where has July gone? Okay, I'm smoothing from the inside out and feeling to make sure I have no air bubbles. So far, so good. I did lightly press the pillowcase. It's just a canvas pillowcase. And I want to get right down to the edges here. And this feels pretty good to me. I'm doing this in one color using my Marvelous. And let me get a stir stick to stir my ink. Being that I'm doing this on fabric, I am using the ink instead of our chalk paste. And our chalk paste goes on liquid and dries hard. Our ink is liquid, of course, but it needs to be heat set to be permanent. And you generally want to use the ink on fabric or ceramics or anything like that you would want to heat set. Great for doing t-shirts or table runners, napkins. I've seen some people customizing their face masks. You could use it on bandanas. Great for kids' clothing. And I'm sure let your imagination run wild on how you could use our transfers on fabric. You could also use it on quilting squares, which is pretty cool and pretty interesting. So I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. Isn't this the most beautiful soft pink color? I'm going to check and make sure I have it up. My handwriting is right side up. Oops. Forgot to check that beforehand, but it looks fine. And I'm using a little bit larger of a squeegee, actually. I've got a great big 4-inch squeegee, and I probably should have used that to apply it, but didn't think to get it. Oops, this is up on the side. Let me press this down nice and snugly there. Okay. So it's just really a process of using the squeegee to push the ink. Look like an air bubble. It looks like I definitely have an air bubble. Not good. Pull this back down. There we go. Pushing it through the silkscreen portion, whoa, of the transfer. I guess I didn't push that down enough. So that it goes onto the surface beneath it. And then I'll set it aside to dry for about 24 hours and then use a heat press to heat set it. You could use an iron if you don't have a heat press, and basically the process is very similar. You make sure obviously it's dried, and then you put a piece of parchment paper, shiny side against the ink, and if you are ironing it, you iron it at the temperature for the specific fabric for 5 minutes, moving your iron back and forth. If you use a heat press, it's, I think, 30 seconds at, for this fabric, 305 degrees. Pretty simple. And then you turn it over, put the parchment on the opposite side. I'd have to turn this inside out, of course, and then iron the opposite side. And then it's permanent. Wash it, dry it, no problems. I don't know if you could see, but I'm right down to the bottom of the transfer here. And I'm smoothing my ink. Let me apply a little bit more here. A little does go a long way. Looks like I needed a little bit more there. There we go. The ink actually does the best on something with a low nap, but I have used the ink on like a velour pillowcase, and it actually turned out beautifully. I just made sure that I applied the ink and used the squeegee in the direction of the nap. Are you familiar with my Facebook page? If not, log on to Facebook and search for Craft with Kathie, Kathie. Check it out. Lots of videos, tips, tricks, specials, etc. And watch for the exciting scavenger hunt that's going to be launching within the next few weeks. Lots of prizes and a ton of fun. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. If you're not a member of my VIP group and would like to be privy to specials and bundles and things like that, comment VIP below and I will send you the link to my Facebook VIP group called Chalk with Kathie. Hope to see you there. As you can see, this is pretty easy. Basically, prepare your surface, lay down your transfer, and apply your chalk or your ink. Not much more to it. Smooth it out, remove the excess, peel and reveal. Easy way to enjoy a creative project in a short amount of time. If you make a mistake and you're using the chalk, wipe it off and do it over. Ink is permanent, however. Want to see more videos like this? Click subscribe and click on that little bell so you'll be notified of additional videos. And if you're enjoying this, please throw me a like. Thank you. And I'm trying to be careful that I don't have this too close to me and that I don't lean over and add some mauve ink to my shirt. The ink is permanent, so you want to be careful you have clean fingers when you pick this transfer up off the surface, and obviously you don't want to dribble it, smear it, whatever, apply it to your clothing unless you actually want to do that deliberately. But I think I want my shirt to remain the color it is. So I'm going to come over here and grab some of the excess, smooth it out, and let me finish up the bottom down here. The only thing I could think of for the real trick for ink is you want to make sure that you have clean fingers when you lift the transfer up. You don't want to accidentally have ink on your fingers, because if you lift it up and touch the surface with inky fingers, ooh, I went right up to the edge here. Let me scoop some of that back. Then you could actually end up with an ink blob or a smear on your surface. And I'm taking the excess ink and putting it right back into the jar. Make sure I've got good coverage all over. I missed a little right here on the edge. Let me just catch that. Got it. I think this looks pretty good. I am going to clean my fingers because I do have a little bit of ink on them. And I'm going to just wash it off with a little water from my spritzer, my little spray bottle, and dry my fingers with a paper towel. Oh, and I just saw an area that I missed right here. Let me add a little bit ink to that. Actually, if I did miss, I could go back here, clean the transfer, and go back and line it up and just add it back in, but probably wiser just to check to make sure I have not missed any spot. Okay, finger check. Voila. Isn't the floral script absolutely beautiful? I'm going to have to bring this into the bathroom and clean the transfer in the tub because it is like 18 inches by 18 inches. So it's a little large to do in the kitchen sink. But don't you think this will make an absolutely lovely accent for the living room? This is called Floral Script. Oops. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit. As you can see, quick and easy, simple project in actually less than a half hour. Can't beat that, right? For feeling productive with your creativity. If you haven't heard of Chalk Couture, let me tell you a little bit about it. Chalk Couture is our subscription program that provides you with a reusable transfer and 3 individual ink packets to create your particular project every month. It's $19.99 plus tax. Shipping's included. It's a wonderful little envelope of creativity, and the transfers are actually exclusive to club members and designers. And tomorrow I will actually be doing the July transfer. And if I remember correctly, it's called Let's Get Lost. And I think it's really cute, ideal for vacationing. And I think a lot of people would like to get lost about this time. So if you'd like to get more information about Chalk Couture, the subscription program, just comment club below and I will send you information about that. If you'd like to earn money creatively or a discount on your supplies for your crafting addiction, if you're like me, comment team below and I'll send you a link to a short little video that talks about the perks and benefits of being a designer. No obligation whatsoever. Thank you so much for watching this evening. Have a wonderful life.